which is what we're here to talk about. And the young lady that's sitting on that lean on about to the door, it's like she's gonna make an easy escape. You know how you go to church, you sit in the back pew in the corner right by the door, so if you need to, you can ease right out. Well, that's why she's over there. Her name is Tatum. And Ms. Tatum is really the person that's operating and heading up all of us who are participating in this program. That's trying to facilitate it for you. I was asked to give a little brief history of myself here and how I do and what I am in business, so we can kind of relate to each other. I moved to Fort Myers in 1983. And some of you, I don't know, looking at some of y'all might not even, I'm not going to go there, I'm going to leave that. I came here on the consulting contract with the city of Fort Myers as a recreational program consultant. I worked for Naples as that. And they called me and asked me if I would come here and do that for them. And I said, yes. That's how I ended up here. Not unlike a lot of folks who go back and forth to Naples, I couldn't handle the travel. I couldn't do that every day. And the business that I was in wasn't like 9 to 5. It was 9 to whatever. So, you know, that time don't work too well when you're doing that. So I decided to move here. And for the first 4 years or so, I just worked jobs. But I found out that people don't work, you can't work for some folks the way you want to work yourself. So I ended up on my own, in my own business. And as uniquely, I started out working with other businesses. I created me some business cards, and I started my consulting business. And I went to people who needed stuff that I knew they needed, and I tried to hook them up and connect them with the things they needed. Like small business. Most of them was minority contractors and subcontractors here in Lee County, Fort Myers. I would get them a contract, and that's how I made my money. Nobody paid me. I didn't get a check unless I brought you a check. If I didn't bring you a contract, I didn't get paid. That young man back there, his father was one of my first clients, Elmo Johnson. That young lady right there just walked in the door, it seems like she don't know where she's going. That young lady, her father was one of my clients. And that's the way I was a God-fearing man. I want to say that too. I'm a faith person. And that's the way I lived. There was a contractor here by the name of Randy Vance. I don't know how long you've been here. I knew Mike, you remember Randy Vance, one of the largest commercial plumbing company owners here in Lee County. He was so amazed by me, he didn't believe me. He was asking other companies, is this Lee Ford guy for real? Is he really going to do what he says he's going to do? I said, well, time will tell. Because they were, you know, people call you cakes. If Randy Grant's going around asking people, you for real? They don't know, he thinks you some kind of con. I don't know how you con here when, if I bring your company a contract, it's going to you. You execute the contract. When the people pay, they don't pay a side person, they pay you. You pay me. That's how I believed in what I was doing. And that company is called Lethal Procurement Business Development, Inc. It's been established in the state of Florida since 1992. You can go on SunBiz right now and find it. What I would do is go around and help these people get work. I did all the consulting, all the fighting with Lee County, the city. I go to Tallahassee, fight for the cause. I go to DC, fight for the cause. Whatever it took, that's what I would do to help my clients, my business, my communities succeed. And believe me, a lot of them made a lot of money during those days. They did very well through those programs. And why we're here now? Because we're frustrated. Because these programs still exist. There's a lot of minority people in this country that have made a very good living of being a certified minority business. I'm one of them. In 1998, I got a contract as a DVE at the Lee County Port Authority at the airport right here, RSW. 1998, that's how long I've been there, still there, and I'll be there till 2035. as a DBE with the FAA and DOT. I'm not just talking this stuff, I live it. When I'm telling you you're in a good place, just work it. There's opportunity that you won't find anywhere else because this man is a developer. Nano Bursky is a developer. I've been a contractor here too. It's not about black or white. It may feel that way to you sometimes, but you know what it's about? Dan is getting ready to invest millions of dollars in a project. Or a contractor is getting ready to take on millions of dollars in a contract. He's responsible for it. He's liable for it. He has relationships. Y'all know what that means? Y'all know how that works, right? You get relationships, that's what it's all about. That's your survival. He has relationships with plumbers, electricians, AC workers, concrete finishers, masons, block masons, and all that stuff. He knows what they're going to do. He can predict how they're going to work, how they're going to perform, how they're going to sustain themselves. And now you're telling me I got to let somebody else in on this that I don't know. I have no understanding of their work ethic. I don't know what to expect. But this man right here sitting over here with these glasses on is telling him, yes, you do. He's saying, yes, if you want our contract, you want our money, yes, you do. So they're going to do what they have to do to appease him, but at the same time, he's trying to figure out whether he really wants to take this risk with you. You need to understand the mechanics of this and the logistics and how all this stuff works. So when you in negotiations or a discussion with somebody, you don't come across the wrong way. You have to understand this is relationship business, this is professional business, and it's not always, I'm not telling you that there isn't any of that out there. That's not what I'm saying to you. But when you're sitting across the table, what made me successful, that's the first thing I do when I tell my clients, we're not going in there with that. This is business. It has to be a win-win for everybody. Both sides of the table. And it works when you work. We lose a lot by our attitude. Preconceived, assumed, assumptions. But if we go in with the right footing and right understanding and right vision ahead of ourselves, we can make it work for us. And understand, again, that they have to win too. How many of you own businesses where you have to negotiate with customers for services? Okay. Now, how many of those conversations you went into with an assumption based on what somebody looked like, and how did that work out for you at the end of the day? I didn't, y'all can speak up, we wrong, we can handle it. And normally, now it might work out every once in a blue moon, but normally that don't work out too good. So you have to understand that when you're dealing with other folks and other things, and when you go into the bigger world is about one thing and one thing only. At the end of the day, ain't about where you live, ain't about your Uncle Bob, it's not about what your hair do. At the end of the day, it's about this. How we all come out at the end. Do I make a profit or do I lose? And what we did find through our processes was a lot of relationships was developed during this program. And that's the whole intent of it in the first place. Because what you'll find, once you get in with a contractor or a service provider, if you work out well the first time with them, guess what the next time they're going to do? They're going to call you and say, hey, I got this project I want to be in. Do you want to be in with me? That's how it works. It's nothing complicated. It's no different than you would do if it was your business. I guarantee you won't want me up in there if every time you dealt with me you lost money. Or you lost business, well, that same thing, money. You lose a client, well, that people running his mouth and them lazy people mad, they don't left. I ain't bringing them back. I know this may sound a little, I don't know what it sounds like, but. Intelligent. Thank you. Yep. You're trying to make me feel good. You want to get me help. You want to go to hell? But seriously, what my company is here to do, there is others. You'll get a sheet later. The young ladies are going to pass this sheet around to you all. It's going to show you all the different partners in this ARPA program. Every one of us does something a little unique from the other. Every one of us. But every one of us is here to help you. And again, I tell you what the big word is, free. I'm going to tell you something. My time is worth something. Whether you think so or not. And when I spend it, I can't get it back. And what I'm telling you is my experience, my life, what I have with me, I'm willing to offer it to you for free. So does the rest of these people in this room. To help you, your house, your family, your kids, your cousin, Uncle Bob, all them folks. So it's up to you whether you want to take advantage of it or not. We're not going to force you. But we brought you here, we feeding you, we're trying to fill you up, we're getting you to tell your doctor a lie when you go back, to tell you ain't had no fried food. We're trying to do all that. But we're here to help you too. We ain't trying to, oh, you can see that. I got an old person over there, she's messing with me. But so, and we'll be right here in this building. Miss Julia right there, raise your hand, Miss Julia. She's my assistant, and I tell everybody she's really gonna be my boss. You know how that goes. Miss Ford, you need to be over at so and so and so and so, or you need to be here and something. That's her. Know her. I'm gonna tell you, I move around a lot. But if you know her, you better get to me a lot quicker. Okay? And then if she fails, then you can always, where's Jasmine?
She's working.
But Jasmine is another one that's here, that works here at the Enterprise Center. Most of you know her, I believe, that's been around here for a while. You can always call her, they connect. So they'll still be able to run me down. Okay? Any questions? No questions. Mr. Dan?
Yes. All right, I'm going to invite Mr. John Talmadge up to maybe talk a little bit about ARPA and from your perspective, the bigger picture of what Lee County is doing, what you're tasked with.
Hi everybody, and I'm so excited to be here. I want to say thank you to Ms. Phyllis for making this an all home week, and what she's done with the Enterprise Center has been spectacular. So thanks, Phyllis.
Thank you.
The ARPA program are the funds that the county received from the American Rescue Plan. We received about $149 million, and so we took $10 million and we're putting it into economic development programs. So $5 million of that is for a small business assistance program, and then $5 million is for a rapid credentialing program. So I'll touch base on that just in case anyone's interested in that. It's for everything from healthcare to construction management, free tuition through FGCU, FSW, and the school board. So if you're interested in that program, want to know more about it, please let us know. But today, we were focusing on the small business assistance program. That and then my personal favorite is the DBEs. So I'll start with DBEs and finish with the small business. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program is something that's critical to the success of Lee County and Fort Myers. We have somewhere around $3 billion of capital construction that's going to occur over the next 5 years. $1.5 billion at the airport alone. And so we need as many electricians and plumbers and skilled trades firms as we can get our hands on, because we don't want all those firms coming in from Tampa and Orlando. We'd like to be able to make sure that the local economy benefits from this work. And so the airport has a mandatory aspiration. The Housing Authority has one. They're going to be spending another $335 million on programs to rehab Southern Village and redo Edison. Dan's part of that, Lee's part of that. So we just want everyone to be as ready as possible. And Clarence from the SBDC is here to help people get certified and whatnot. But we need to make sure that you're ready to receive these funds, that you're in line to get these funds. So we look forward to working with you on that. But the ARPA program is funds that we put aside to work with a group of technical advisors that Lee had mentioned, and they will take you through a sort of a quick boot camp. So have just look at your business plan and see what, are there any deficits in your business? And if there are, and the deficit could be things from back rent to need a new web page or a new marketing plan or an inventory control system, then we'll provide you somewhere between $5,000 and $20,000 as a grant. This is something that doesn't have to be repaid back. It's free and clear, as long as it's being used to invest in your business, and you have to make some sort of easy, promise that it's COVID related somehow. But we'll help you get through that. So we want as much of that money to go to the greater Dunbar community, the MLK corridor, as we can possibly get. And then we have other priority areas like High Acres and North Fort Myers. But Dunbar is really the heart of this, and that's why Impact Partners is so essential to making this program succeed. So that's really all I want to say. We're happy to do it. If we have other funds, we'll make that available as we go by. But we want to get as much of this money into your hands as we can, and we want to help you strengthen your business and prepare you to get that production line for the capital programs that are coming down as well. So the only limitation to this program, and Dan and Lee will talk to you a little bit more about it, is you've got to be in an eligible census tract. So it's a low and moderate income census tract, but it's most of the city of Fort Myers, most of High Acres and most of North Fort Myers. So we'll make that determination. The technical assistance is for anybody, but the grants are for eligible census tracts.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
Okay,
John.
thank you.
If you don't know John Talmadge and what he's done with the EDO, he was also previously a part of the city of Fort Myers, and candidly has been activating around great idea makers and then empowering them into what they were really made to be, to have the best impact that they can have. So thank you very much, John and Tatum. A little background on myself. I'm Dan Alversky. I am not a minority business owner because I'm not a minority business person. I know that I have been born with incredible privilege, and a lot of it comes from nothing that I've ever done. It wasn't out of the great, incredible brain that I have, or anything other than I'm a white guy that had strong family and great opportunities laid before me. And so about 5 years ago, that became apparent to me. I'm sorry it took me 35 years to catch that, but that became apparent to me through a variety of things associated to just getting to know my neighbors and knowing that my neighbors matter more than myself. If I have two creeds, Lee and I share this common ground, is I'm called to love the Lord my God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love my neighbor as myself. And then I never saw my mentor Jesus go and call his neighbor the wealthy king. It was always somebody else who was coming from a place of disinvestment or challenge. And so we have a community, we have a neighborhood, we have a whole county that is quite divided, and embarrassingly, from my perspective, it seems substantially divided by race. And I don't understand that, but I have seen the roots of it. And my opinion is one of the elements of our requirement is redevelopment, redistribution, and reconciliation. So elements of how do you bring all of those things together. I work hard, I don't think I'm lazy, but the amount of resources that I have access to are different than others. My mom's in the back. She's a phenomenal mentor, friend to a lot of people, including myself. John Talmadge, Tatum, I have a network of humans that I can call on and partners. One of my partners is Ron Matthews. He is an innovative thinker. I used to say he's the only person with a mohawk that I partnered with. That's no longer the case. For example, he went around and told some really incredible stories for a long time, and my response was, I want to see it happen. And he activated a really challenging property and project, and I said I would match his investment. And so he orchestrated a phenomenal development. We're partners now in Lakeview, development down here on Veronica Shoemaker and Edison. We're finalizing our engineering agreements right now to make a determination of our next steps. And we'll be building affordable housing, workforce housing, and Ron will be doing a combination of social services and property management around that, as well as owning this really incredible development that we look forward to building here in Fort Myers. My background was a pastor's kid. Moved from Michigan to